Okay, first video back. I want to make it important, I want to make it unique, and I want to make it original. I got it. What if it's a top 10 video with a white guy talking about rap music? Huh?
Rap song. We do our rap so then the crowd goes wild.
I've been wanting to make this video basically since I started making videos again back in 2018. But the thing is, I've never really felt confident enough in my music taste to rank XXL Cyphers. And I was actually gonna make this video a couple months ago, but the day I started writing, the 2020 freshman list got announced, so I had to start all over again. If you don't understand a word I'm saying right now, don't worry, I'm about to explain it, but if you do know what I'm talking about, feel free to skip to this timestamp right here. Okay, all you really need to know is that XXL is a magazine that tends to focus on underground music, and every year they pick around 10 up-and-coming artists as their freshman class. They've been doing this since 2008, and there are a number of big names who were once XXL freshmen, like J. Cole, Nipsey Hussle, Kid Cudi, B.O.B., Wale, the list goes on. But in 2011, videos popped up on the XXL YouTube channel, called the Freshman Cyphers. Every year since, these cyphers have been released, with different groups of rappers performing different verses to different beats, trying to show off their lyrical skill. Just over 100 artists have participated in a XXL Freshman Cypher, and in my opinion, most of them aren't bad. But it's by a way smaller margin than you'd think it should be. There is an alarming amount of flops when it comes to these cyphers, and I wanted to find and rank the 10 absolute worst, bottom-of-the-barrel failures of verses to ever grace the platform. Now, of course, before we do so, some disclaimers. I feel like it should be obvious from the amount of rap we're about to listen to, this video is not censored, so if you can't stand to hear me or any 20-something-year-old musical artist say the F word, then this is your final warning. And of course, this is just my opinion. This list was close, so close that you could probably shuffle the top 10, maybe even the top 15, around in whatever order you wanted, and I wouldn't be able to totally disagree with you. And finally, before we start the list off, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. But it's about time I stop stalling, and I tell you about number 10. If you asked me to rank these classes as a whole, I would have a really hard time telling you which one was the best. I think there are a lot in contention. 2013, 2014, I think even 2016 has a shot. But if you asked me to name the worst, there are two that really stand out. 2012 and 2017. And I think 2012 is just a little bit worse.
Act like you ain't heard, no I stay mad fly like Angry Birds.
This is the only year that had only 2 cypher videos as opposed to the normal 3, which felt really strange because there were 9 people performing. 3 videos felt perfect. But on the bright side, it means that I only had to watch 2 garbage videos as opposed to 3. So, that was nice. I have to give credit where credit is due. Not all of these are bad. Danny Brown actually has a really great verse, and Hobson did okay outside of spouting a gay slur. Everyone in this class, as well as every single other one, tried their best to bring something new to these cyphers. They tried to prove how they're changing the game. They all had some quality about them, regardless of how bad they actually did. So can someone please tell me, how the fuck did Don Tripp get here?
My baby mama told the judge I was a millionaire. Wish somebody told me I'm still dealing squares.
Look, I took so long writing this bit of the script because this verse just bewilders me. There's 2 things to be said about Don Tripp's cypher. First, his voice.
Me and my kids in the mall trying to build a bear, and I can't find a Lamborghini Power Wheel anywhere.
It's somehow so strange, yet so boring. It's like he's trying to turn off his Memphis drawl, but every time he tries to turn it off, it just goes a little higher for a second. It's just very inconsistent enunciation, and I just don't understand how. But the main thing is just like, what is he even saying? And I'm not trying to be like, his ebonics are too cryptic, me white boy, me no understand, he need to speak better. It's like legitimately, what the hell is he talking about? I'll box with a bear before I hit her bear. Me and my kids in the mall trying to build a bear, and I can't find a Lamborghini Power Wheel anywhere. Like, man, you're just jumping from place to place right now. And one of the most notorious lines in XXL history, and I gets head home, girl, I'm a fade. And yet, it's astounding, even after how weird his voice is, and how visibly atrocious his bars are, and even how he's holding the microphone, he is still so boring. And all he had to do was follow up Macklemore. It's just so confusing in the worst ways possible, and that's why this verse had to go somewhere on the list. And that somewhere happened to be number 10. So, remember how I said that 2017 was the other worst year for freshman ciphers? Yeah. Say hello to the poster boy.
Yeah, Ben Baller, no Johnny Dane. Yeah, all my niggas blood gang.
I don't really listen to Playboy Cardi that often, but the ways that he's twisted his music in the past 3 years has honestly been incredible, and the kinds of songs that he makes are truly unique and advanced in the ways that they aren't. But this is the 2017 XXL freshman cypher, and in my opinion, Cardi did none of that at this point. Like, I imagine when people who don't like mumble rap talk about mumble rap, this is what they imagine it to be. Just a bunch of ad-libs over gibberish that you can't even decipher. 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 This is what I see as like any kid in high school who has like 25 followers on SoundCloud, and every week he posts on his Instagram story, big things coming soon, and then the big thing is just a new Instagram post of him posing like this with a new jacket on. Is it even worth it to read through these words? In my opinion, no, because doing that kind of softens the blow of how much nothing this verse actually means. And even if it was nothing, this verse could have been saved by some good ad-libs or stops, but Cardi doesn't even do that. He just says a line and then never finishes it, never adds something, even if that something doesn't have to mean anything. This isn't artsy Cardi, this isn't new Cardi, this isn't good Cardi. This is a 15-year-old freestyling in the back of a car. And I don't want to visualize that while I'm watching XXL. Out of all the XXL cypher verses, 11 have been done by women, and they're mostly great.
Look, don't give a fuck if they put 10 million on you. I'ma still come out like a villain on you.
In fact, I would go so far as to say that almost every single time a woman has been picked for XXL, she supplies one of the best verses for that year. It is truly amazing to see more and more women get picked to be XXL freshmen and get to step into the game as a whole, as they should. But that doesn't excuse 2017 for picking Kamaya.
You don't know who I am, but I'm a fucking star, and I don't come out unless I bring her entourage.
Yeah, Cardi may have been the poster boy for 2017, but Kamaya had the worst verse of the year. Let's read the first 3 bars of one of her most popular songs, Fuck It Up. Don't need no introduction, I'm a fool. Schoolgirl, but I didn't make it out of school. Mama told me I done raised a fool. Oh. Wow, no fucking shit. The third longest cypher verse of all time was DaBaby's in 2019, at 2 minutes and 1 second. The second longest was Tink, Another Woman, in 2015, at 2 minutes and 2 seconds. These were both pretty good ciphers. In fact, Tink is considered by some to have one of the best ever. But I think you know where I'm going with this. Kamaya stands far and away at the top, with a 2 minute, 28 second cypher. And it sucks. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. I feel like this should come as no surprise from the way I've been talking about it. This is my least favorite cypher ever. Every time I had to watch this cypher for the video, I couldn't help but put it at 2 times speed. But somehow, it is not only blisteringly easy to still understand every word that she's saying, but it is still so boring and slow. 2 minutes and 28 seconds, where the flow never switches and the rhyme scheme changes twice. This verse just makes me so angry because she was the only woman of the 2017 class and the first to ever be featured since 2015. And not only was she put in one of the weakest classes ever, but she was put next to 2 insanely weak ciphers from Pnb Rock and Cap G. And yet, she still didn't deliver. This cypher is atrocious. Absolutely terrible, my least favorite. And yet, I still put it at number 8 because I not only show mercy, but it also somehow gets worse from here. 2016 was the first year that I got super into listening to music and by extension, rap. It was also the first year that I happened to find XXL freshman ciphers. And for good reason. In the 2016 class was the cypher that would go on to become the most viewed video on XXL's channel, currently sitting at over 170 million views. This cypher contained 5 rappers, all who brought an incredible amount of chemistry.
Rest in power, it's all about power.
Denzel Curry began with some heat. Insane bars, great energy, and an awesome flow. Lil Uzi Vert followed up, having some of the most fun in a cypher I've ever seen, which is exactly on brand. I loved it. Lil Yachty's was fine, short, but not bad. And 21 Savage, he was not good at all. His bars were kind of stupid, but the way that everyone backed him up and supported him kind of saved his cypher. It was super hype. I personally love it. The funny thing is, the quality of each verse seemed to decline with each following artist. So I wonder if that trend continued with the last rapper on it.
Who the fuck picked this little sorry ass beat?
Yeah, it did. Kodak Black did come out of this cypher with one of the most iconic lines in XXL history, but he also came out of it with one of the most awkward verses in XXL history. He rhymed starving ass eat with sorry ass eat, which is not, I mean, that's not optimal. And also, I don't think the editors even let him finish. Like, his last line is, "they dead flies." Like, that's a lyric from one of his old songs, but his mouth was still open when they ended the video, so I don't think he was even given the time of day. Plus, his verse is only like 8 bars long, and while I'm kinda glad it's that short, it's like, you gave so much love and praise and hype and ad-libs to all these other artists when they went, why don't you give any to your own? And that's what gets me in particular. When it comes to Kodak Black himself, the verse sounded like a chore, something he didn't really want to do. How much of a joke was that first line? How sorry was that beat? I guess we'll never really know. But overall, Kodak Black is just a disappointment. 2018 was the first freshman class that I really paid attention to. There was a reason for that. It was an incredible step up from the previous year. There was so much talent. 2018 also happened to be the first year that I kept up with music enough to know who most of the artists were, including 3 of the worst. Originally, Playboy JB was going to be the only one of these 3 I put on this list because he is easily the worst out of them, but after listening to Lil Pump and Smoke Perp and just watching them over and over and over again, I couldn't resist. They're on this by extension. Let's start with the least terrible of the 3, which was Smoke Perp. I think Smoke Perp was the least bad. Notice how I'm not saying best. I think Smoke Perp was the least bad because he played it so safe. He was completely overshadowed when it came to showmanship, and in this particular incident, I think that's a good thing. I think Perp didn't do anything inherently terrible until at the end of the video where he said that this is so hard that it should be a real song.
Y'all need to make that a real song.
God, no. Then there's Pump, who, first of all, let the beat go for like 30 seconds before he started, and then he tried to rap fast, but in the process of doing so, he just didn't. And like, I get that was his style before, but the bars just felt so unnatural. Even so, the flow wasn't terrible. He had kind of a fun hook, and he threw a couple $1,000s on the floor. Now, after Pump's piece came Block Boy, but due to the poor production of this video, I can only assume that he messed up his first take. Now, there's nothing really wrong with that. An artist should have as many tries as they want to, and XXL's editing and production has never exactly been praised, but in every other way, shape, and form, Block Boy was just, he was just so bad. Obviously, you gotta start with the bars, which just, I don't even know where to begin. I remember days I had the 38 special. I remember days I ride the short bus. I'm special. I'm transcending. His flow too, especially at the very end. Like, imagine you're saying the most basic things known to mankind. How do you make it even more awkward?
What you just dropped on bands.
Damn.
I don't think these niggas stand a chance. Italy, this shit is come from France. Hey, I got a bitch, she come from Japan. Hey.
Finally, my biggest issue is actually when he's not performing, because it is so clear that he desperately wants to be in the front at all times. He has the 2 most annoying ad-lib cut-ins with a long-ass word and an even longer "that's on my mama." Like, why would you make your ad-lib so long to the point that it cuts into literally every line that it would come before or after? Like, he even does it before anyone's even talked. So what is on your mama at that point? There is nothing to put on your mama. Can you tell I'm irrationally angry at this point? I know it's kind of cheating, but I could not resist putting this entire cypher on the list. There is just far too much material to grab from, led by Playboy JB with a hearty "esket" from the cooler, more popular crowd behind him. Okay, it is the next day. My voice gave out halfway through doing this list, so let's finish it now. Initially, when I saw the 2020 list, it was weird. I said to myself, oh yeah, I guess they have done the most this year. And that's not to diminish everything they've done. Like, they're all perfectly fine choices. It's just that the cyphers turned out, Out of all of these verses, none of them really stood out. Well,
Version I carry got a chop woo woo. Seals on the paints on the rest woo woo. Pounds on the book, bad log on the school, got sticks in the jean, got specs on the shoes. Ooh.
I've had a very tumultuous relationship with Lil Keed's cypher. Like, it's awful. Like, that much That much is clear. But it's introduced in one of the wackiest ways I've ever heard.
Keep talking to him.
That alone makes it so endearing that I almost stuck it way lower on my list. But then I go and find out that it was Jack Harlow all along, and now I have to, well, I have to give Jack Harlow props, first of all. But this is all Keed did? Just saying the bars out loud myself doesn't give this verse nearly enough credit on how just, oh my god. Are you seeing the cracks form in my mental state yet? Lil Keed takes mumble rap, and he just takes, I don't even know where he takes it. His last bar is him saying he's coming with cadence, and that bar has the least cadence out of his entire verse.
I face it. I'm coming with cadence.
You guys want to hear his freestyle too? The answer is no. No, you don't.
None of these people, I live under my reach. Glock got a drum rockin' out a lot of Beatles. He ain't taking losses, I ain't taking none either. Bad little bitch, yeah, I turned to a skittle. 4-9 left part in 2 liter. Y'all hit a lick, Jack, call me that jitter. That shit drip, drip up my... I'm stuffing all these bags in my pants. Man, money grow old like grandparents. Outside white, but the inside cranberry. I make it rain, no Harriet. Tuck me in. I ain't doing favor for a motherfucking lane.
So what keeps this from being higher on the list? Dude, honestly, even if Jack Harlow did do the beginning of the cypher, I don't care. This is the funniest shit ever. I feel like I don't even have the ability to really talk about it that much because words, they just can't. I implore you, go watch this one yourself. Please spare me the difficulty of trying to explain this because this verse truly is inexplicable, which is why it holds not only the number 5 spot on this list, but also a special place in my heart. Okay, so going back to number 10 on the list, Don Tripp. Remember him? Me neither, and I had to write the script for this, so that's a little bit telling. He was bad, sure, really bad, but as we've seen, there are quite a few people who have trouble following terrible acts. So, who is bad enough to not only follow Don Tripp, but end up so high on this list? Ladies and gentlemen, the other bad woman on XXL.
You know I'm merely who you kidding, go and tell your friends.
Okay, that's enough of that. Why does Iggy sound like she's about to cry when she's doing this verse?
Iggy's a big dog chilling in the left lane.
Iggy is an enigma. And Iggy, I need to stop. Like, it's very difficult to explain why Iggy's verse is so bad, which isn't good for me since I want to pad the runtime of this video as much as possible. Iggy Azalea's cypher is exhausting. Above all, it is exhausting. From her crazy clothes, to her weird voice, to her terrible bars, everything about her just makes me want to lie down. She's so fucking whiny, and like, I know it's a tired topic, but the way she talks, it's just... oh, I just can't. Iggy really tried to write some hard-hitting bars, but I don't think that she fully, like, completed. But ain't got no leads, you chickens, you ain't free range. Are we trapped? What does that mean? I feel like particularly with this cypher, even if I'm missing something or like I'm wrong in one of my criticisms, I could probably get away with it because the second that you comment something contrarian, you mildly support Iggy Azalea, and I know none of you want to do that. Point is, Iggy's cypher is classically bad, cementing itself in rap history along with... yeah, okay.
Yeah. Hey, I be riding around town in the coupe, got the drop top hanging like I'm Snoop. Hey.
The first time I tried making this video a couple months ago, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, I almost didn't put Designer on this list. Because first of all, come on, look at him. He's having the time of his life. Like, no doubt it's because he's high out of his mind, but he's just so cute. I just want to keep him like a little pet. Come here, Designer. Come here, boy. Come on, Designer. Come on, Designer. He got so perplexed when Lil Dicky started spitting, and then Lil Dicky was like, I want to include you. Do your thing. And Designer was just so happy, like, oh, thanks, man. That's so chill of you, dude. Like, that's adorable.
Do it.
But you can't excuse how do I even describe it? Designer decided that the best approach to a XXL cypher is to say nearly identical 8-bar sets 5 times in a row. Not 4, that would be too predictable. 5, what does he say in these sets of 8? Beats me! Don't watch my moves, can't watch my shoes, can't clock my moves or watch my juice. Yeah, damn right I can't clock your moves, designer. I don't know if I want to. Designer had the audacity to come with some of the weakest bars of all time and say it in the least comprehensive way possible 5 times! Oh, but you thought he was done? Nah. On his 3rd lap around the track on the crazy train, Designer runs out of breath or steam or something, and oh my god. He does it in the 5th go around too, like not as much, but he just doesn't say some of the words. I feel like Designer got tired of saying the same shit over and over again. Designer got tired of saying the same shit over and Iggy Azalea Cypher may be a classic, but this one will never leave my head. It is impossible to get rid of, it will always be around, and it will always be one of the worst. And that's just something I have to accept.
You're not worth it. I am worth it. Because I'm on Hot 100 Billboard, and 22 million people disagree with you. So I would feel kind of bad for you.
She body when she looking at a young nigga. I fuck her good, now she talk about a young nigga.
I was more excited for the 2019 list than any other year before it. Like, I knew everybody. And then XXL came out and was like, hey, we brought YK Osiris too! And I was like, who? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's that guy who did the whole, I will give you the word. Normally, I regret saying that a cypher is bad because of the potential that the artist may have, or how their music is so much better than their cypher, or even how it just could have been better. But it makes me so happy to put YK Osiris on this list, especially now knowing that he truly was a one-hit wonder with Worth It. And honestly, I think this cypher was one of the nails in his coffin, and for good reason. Although no others ended up on this list, it is very difficult to find a good singing XXL cypher. Especially when you're singing off key.
Now she say she worth it, but saying worth it. I put them diamonds on my wish and now she want me.
Granted, I don't think this beat was YK Osiris' style, but come on, at least try to sing with it. Like, this beat did not want you to croon, it did not want you to go up, and it certainly did not want you to have major keyed intentions. Plus, he was doing the most in the back while the baby was going. He was trying to get Megan Thee Stallion in on it with him. Sis was not having it. The thing about YK Osiris is he has everything going against him here, and yet you still want him to fail so bad. Because his singing, regardless of the beat, would have been off and bad, and his lyrics still would have been terrible. And I don't understand these bitches, they don't like me. I put it in, now she wanna act so feisty. That doesn't sit entirely right with me. And he would still have trouble talking because of his grills.
I put them diamonds on my wish and now she want me.
And of course, he would still mumble at the end.
And when she talking about she body, she ain't body.
I wanna body, yeah. Man, I love when artists just don't do a second take for XXL. Like, they're either flipping off the magazine or they're flipping off the audience. And frankly, I don't care which it is because it's funny either way. Like, this is your job, to perform. Like, you worked on this, right? You pitched for this. You currently have one song that's popular right now, maybe a feature here and there, but that's it. And yet, you decide to come with the second weakest verse ever? And that's why I'm happy that this is so bad. YK Osiris entirely deserved his fall off, and every reason why is evident in this verse. Also, he assaulted his girlfriend, so like, what can I even do at this point? YK Osiris is the definition of a bad cypher. Mumbly, off-kilter, terrible lyrics, awkward, and clearly without care. But there is one more that stands above them all. But first, I wanted to talk about some dishonorable mentions and my personal favorites in a little lightning round. I wanted to add a list of dishonorable mentions, plainly because listing only 10 cyphers doesn't do XXL nearly enough justice. There is so much more trash in these videos, and I wanted to pick more of it up. So, here are some of my dishonorable mentions.
It go live from the Apple, slicing the American pie with dope lyrics. Watch me get America high.
Beating up this beat like at a high school drum line. I got the teachers like, what does he become now?
Well, what is this? I really wish I understood how these two artists got on the class, but I don't. And so I'm just stuck with Diggy Simmons rhyming ABCs with 1, 2, 3 in a fucking XXL cypher.
Not really with talking, not really with sparking. These bullets be coming through brick house. A nigga gon' shoot it and then try to run like hollow tips won't blow his back out.
Claim he gon' get me, claim he gon' rush me. We outside this spot, nah nigga, time to get ugly.
I would talk about them, but from listening to their ciphers, I definitely know that if I did, then I would be dead.
Dollar sign from LA, this a freestyle. Let's get it. Look at my outfit, I'm the shit. I ain't even rhyme, I don't give a shit.
This is an off-tempo, sung freestyle that doesn't rhyme consistently, has terrible syllable scheme, and also says nearly nothing. And it was also in the midst of one of the best classes in XXL history. I really wish I had a spot for this one on the top 10, but I didn't. It's crazy how many times I kept realizing when watching others, this cipher really is worse than Ty Dolla $igns. Crazy shit, man.
How you hurt a nigga that accepted all his flaws? You do it for the fame, man, I do it for the cause.
Coke boy, something like Montana. With the bird gang like Santana.
Shot the top, I get bored too quick. Silly thought, wanted bored to quit.
Look, all of these are bad, and they say essentially nothing, but at least they knew that too, and they only went a few bars. It was like eating a cracker to cleanse your palate before listening to the next cipher. An intermediate set, if you will. And honestly, I can't get mad at that.
I took your mama to Yard House. I took her to Yard House. I took your mama to Greystone. We got in with no problem.
What a waste. This dude is amazing, and you put him on a beat that's practically his opposite. They should have put him with G Herbo and Dave East or something. Maybe his bars would have been good or worked or whatever.
It's that young boy who don't care. Now size popped up in the L. I'm gon' rock, I don't care.
God, it's so fucking boring.
Diamond when I talk, diamond when I walk. Diamonds on my balls, pocket Rick Ross.
Ugly God is probably the only person in the history of XXL ciphers to completely get away with not giving a shit. Like, yeah, he's freestyling, yeah, it's shit, yeah, it's basically saying the same thing 20 times, but come on, it's Ugly God. He's having so much fun. Everyone's laughing.
My niggas told me if I ever stop rapping, the game lost Jordan. Trade him to the Magic.
I give the same sentiment to Lil B, whose bars weren't trash, they just weren't enough to quantify him saying he's the rawest rapper in front of Kendrick fucking Lamar. But like, he laughed too, so no harm done.
She say, Rock, I love you. I say, bitch, you think I'm stupid, huh? Either that or you been watching fairy tale movies, huh?
Pnb Rock is one of the only rappers in these ciphers that's used a slur he shouldn't. But the difference for him is the rest of his bars are also things he shouldn't have bothered saying.
All this ice on. I gotta roll the python.
Poor Fivio, man. I felt like I was watching a bunch of great movies, but only to the cliffhangers. Like, he was spitting and I was like, come on, Fivio, you're almost there. And then it just stumbled. I would attribute this to the fact that Fivio doesn't tend to rap over a beat like this one. He's on drill, so he gets a pass, since his bars weren't necessarily terrible. Plus, his ad-libs were fun.
Smack called me, I was getting some head. He said, come do this XXL cover instead.
I thought I was gonna put Veg Mensa on the dishonorable mentions list, solely for this awful, nonsensical skit at the beginning of the cipher.
Wait, who is this? Hey, yo. Wait, I don't know. I'm doing this XXL shit. I can't really talk on the phone right now.
And the fact that he even considered doing a skit at the beginning should be telling. But it was only when I heard the rest of the cipher that I knew I had to put him on it. Also, when he tried supporting August Alsina's chorus, he messed up his ad-lib. Both times.
You know I'm a grind, I'm a hustle all days, and maybe I'm a shine like a light all days.
And he's like limping into his cipher while he's doing his skit. Why is Vic Mensa's cipher like this? And Baby Keem, Gunna, Trippie Redd, and French Montana solely for not doing a cipher at all. Although, to be fair, I'm kind of glad Gunna didn't do one. So those are all my dishonorable mentions, but now I wanted to talk a little bit about my favorites, because those deserve love too. There are a lot of great verses to go with the bad, and here are all of them, in chronological order this time.
Whatever it is, I get in this trade. I'm too obsessed, too dedicated, never escape.
I almost feel obligated to like Mac Miller, but there's a reason for that. As tiring as his monotone rapping can get, his bars and flow are awesome, and I can get around the problems because of it.
I'm beyond the most slept on, step songs, follow rap songs, right in my wrong.
The very first XXL cipher beat is notoriously dog shit, but you couldn't tell for the life of you if you were listening to Kendrick's cipher. There was nothing to carry him, he's surrounded by perfectly fine ciphers, and yet, there is a reason that Kendrick is regarded as potentially the best rapper ever, and the other three aren't really in contention.
Speeding, and damn I'm leaning on the Kawasaki in the lobby, got me Joe Codeine out in Abu Dhabi.
This cipher is very valid proof, in my opinion, that the kinds of music Travis Scott makes now really is an artistic choice. He really didn't have to go hard on the bars, and you can tell he's not exactly super well versed at it. But for someone like Travis, it's about much more than that. It's about how this cypher isn't what he does now, not even close, and he is way bigger than he has ever been before, and for good reason. So props to him for showing how he doesn't even need to do what he does to be good at music.
Now step into my mind as I calculate lyrics like Einstein. The way he manipulate the numbers, I manipulate the rhymes like E equals MC squared. Nah, E equals eater of MCs, beware.
I just really like that bar.
Young black boy, how you got the label scared? A&Rs be like, channel, you ain't playing fair.
Chance's verse is probably the most simultaneously fun and amazing verse ever. Like, some pull one more than the other, some have only one, some have none at all. I think Chance has the most balance in his cypher. You just like listening to it, simple as that.
A lot of grievances in which tells on the wrong niggas. K's sound like greyhounds, they long-winded.
In the very same video comes almost the opposite, Kevin Gates and his insanely unique voice. I honestly didn't care what he was saying half the time. The deep drawl just draws me in every time I hear it.
New crib doesn't got a driveway, still pulling out when I'm fucking by the fireplace. Bitch that I'm with used to fuck around with Gosling. I don't like to think about it, shit is so exhausting.
I'm embarrassed to say I like even this, cause God, Lil Dicky, why? But I mean, he's got some good jokes in there, and next to Anderson .Paak and Designer's Cyphers, he is revered as a god, but that wasn't exactly difficult as we've already seen. But he worked with what he had, made do with what shit XXL decided to give him, and the boy came through. And then he collabed with Chris Brown and jumped the shark with Earth, and I'm just sad now.
Hustle and flow, all I did was hustle and sell, from the trap straight to XXL. G Herbo, you know me. I guess that I'm a freshman now, but I've been an OG.
Easily the two best verses in the 2016 class, and in my opinion, the best beat to ever grace any of the stages. Dave East and G Herbo have both been in the game for a long time, working their asses off, and it shows. They are vicious, they are brutal, they are honest in their bars, and they deserve every bit of it. Absolutely one of the best XXL cyphers, in my opinion, ever.
E, honeycomb P, no queen, I'm a goddess, I'm a certified G. D, say it like you're ready for the D. If you're all about your money, then you're all about me.
Stefflon Don was the first woman to have a cypher really hit me right. Like, the closest to ever get to me was Angel Hayes's, but her breathing was annoying. But Stefflon Don steps in after YBN Namir and just comes out guns fucking blazing. Paying respect to grime and any non-American rap for the first and only time in XXL history was also pretty cool, and something really new. And I think Stefflon Don was the right pick to represent this other world of rap.
Picture a nigga stepping into the game that's already lit, just add a little cold to flame it. Lame niggas, I gotta put it in layman's terms. I'm finna murder you niggas, you better spread the word.
Jesus Christ. Like, there are no words, but I'm gonna try. JID has probably like top 5 verses in XXL history. In fact, I would go so far as to say that he also had one of the top 5 freestyle performances in XXL history. Like, JID was a catch for this class, and he shows it in spades in his verse. Incredible wordplay, ridiculous flow, and such swagger. And then you're like, oh, there's no way Ski Mask the Slump God can top this.
Bad with my aim when I come. Yo, bitch won't meet my filet mignon. I'm by the keys, deep in her throat, letting it go on her body, no bump.
And like, he doesn't, but he keeps up. And for anyone else, especially in the 2018 class, that would be a nigh impossible task. I think this is my favorite cypher. It's short, it's sweet, and it is a fucking banger.
Bitch, I want your man trying to see what it hit for. Post a new pic for a bitch, I'm a shit on.
My favorite verse from any woman on XXL, and it's not just because she's talking fast, okay? Megan Thee Stallion is definitely bigger than she has ever been, and she damn well deserves it. She has confidence like no other, she carries herself so well, she's got clever bars, works well with other people, and knows how to set a stage. So who cares if all she's doing in her verse is bragging? That's Megan Thee Stallion. And who cares if she decided to rap fast? That's Megan Thee Stallion. Honestly, this verse, in my opinion, is more than anything a representation of what Megan has and can still become.
Fuck all that talking, let's do it. I keep me a ruler, bitch. I grew up with the shooters, sliding in the back of the rag with the roof up.
Like I said before, there are very few singing cyphers that turn out good, and Roddy Ricch is one of them. The way he rides the line between singing and rapping to the point where you never know when he's gonna start or stop doing one or the other is so endearing. And it helps when his voice is really nice. Also, I know it's off topic, but I feel like I need to mention it. Roddy Ricch did his freestyle by making a beat with his jewelry. So fucking sick, I love it.
The queen of my city, I'll prove it in his freestyle. Philly, me mugging all your cheap smiles.
It was really cool seeing 3 women in a freshman class, and all of them did pretty well. Rico Nasty probably had the weakest out of the 3, but that's not really saying much because it was still pretty good. Tierra Whack is one of the people that decided to make her cypher her freestyle, which I'm not the most gigantic fan of, but at the same time, her freestyle had so much personality, I can't shy away from it.
XXL just went stupid. If he tripping, then he falling, stupid.
What's the cost of $1 when you don't have shit and you down up on your last bit? And every moment passing makes you wonder what could happen. Sipping Henny frozen, feeling spaced out like a semicolon.
Neither of these were really that great, but like their chemistry was so cute. Like when Corday was going and Blueface did the ad-libs, it was so fun to watch because everyone was like, "Aw, look at Blueface supporting his friend even though he doesn't know the words that he's saying."
So I be smoking on the dough, it kinda help my demon show. Sometimes I be feeling low, sometimes I be feeling low.
Do I have a story to tell about glory? A nigga defeating the odds. Got used to a budget, but now I say fuck it in stores. I don't care what it costs.
I had to push it to start it. I had to grind for it. Bang out with bears and lines for it. Put in a little overtime for it. Now I feel like I shine for it.
I'll say it one more time. It's difficult to find a good singing cypher, except in the 2020 class because there are 3 right here. Rod Wave, Chica, and Lil TJ all took approaches that, while similar, all kind of branched out to each artist's own style. Rod Waves was probably my favorite. The way he peaked his range and slowed down then sped up, it's so easy to appreciate. And Chica had a dog! Oh yeah, and Elite Choppa was there too. Okay, I'm sorry. I know that was a lot, but after talking about trash for so long, I wanted to pay some respects. So now I will go back to talking about trash. Okay, I want to explain myself. Specifically to the people who have watched these cyphers as much as I have. The ones who always get excited for the new list every year. You already know who's at number 1. I haven't said their name yet, and they have to be somewhere on this list, right? But rest assured, I did everything in my power to try and find something worse than this. I kept on saying to myself, there is no possible way that this is actually the worst cypher ever. If it is, that would be so beautiful, but it can't be. There have to be worse verses with worse vocals, worse beats, worse jokes, worse personalities, worse everything. And there were. And yet, I always came crawling back to this cypher. It really seems to have that X factor that no other cypher would ever dare to have. It cemented itself in my head, as well as the heads of everyone to ever watch XXL. As much as it shouldn't be number 1, this verse deserves it miles more than any other artist to grab the mic. You can run from it, you can hide from it, you can try your damn hardest to get it out of the way, but goddamn,
I feel like the man.
Lil Mosey is the single worst and best thing to happen to XXL in years, if not ever. It is no normal verse. Let's dive in. Mosey is the first rapper you hear in this cypher. He has to make a splash, so he comes in with that classic goddamn and then follows it up with a solid bar. I feel like the man. Okay, Mosey, where are you going with this?
Freshman of the year, I woke up like the man.
Already you know. You motherfucking know. Mosey is hitting different. He mumbles through those first 2 bars like it's nothing, rhyming the man with the man. Within 7 seconds, Lil Mosey has become the most iconic artist in XXL history. He pops in with,
okay, this a lame ass beat.
The one thing that Kodak Black had going for him in his cypher was iconically dissing the beat, and Lil Mosey just tried to swipe that moniker right from him, falling flat on his face. Truly glorious. Mosey is running out of juice, and for good reason. He's gone through 6 bars at this point, so he starts hitting those A's.
Why he talking out his lip, he know ain't shit sweet. Hey, hey, yo block, I'm going sweet. Hey, hey.
With an inch of hope, he desperately lunges with a call to the baby, and he does fucking nothing.
Buzz down our regular face. What? Hey, chasing blues like the baby. What?
And he ends with a very original graduation reference, because he is a freshman. Haha, funny joke.
Swerving around with cake, what? Jogged out, no I didn't graduate, nigga.
Words cannot piece together how positively amazed I was by this raw failure of a verse. It didn't seem humanly possible to hit something like this. But Lil Mosey went for every single mark, above and beyond. Hey guys, editing Tenrek here because I forgot to tell you guys about something that was literally one of the inspirations for this video. So if you go to the Lil Mosey XXL cypher and you turn on closed captioning and you just let the cypher play out, no joke, you can actually do this right now. It just says, oh no. That's the that's the entire caption. That's the entire fucking fucking caption. YK Osiris is probably the luckiest person on the planet. If Lil Mosey did any better, he would have gotten fucking lampooned. But honestly, I'm really glad it's this way. Because Mosey is the most unifying thing to ever happen to XXL. Whenever a new freestyle or cypher drops, you may get all the diehard fans saying it's fire, all the nihilists calling it trash, and all the scam bots posting links to cocaine and Viagra. But the one thing that everyone is involved in, everyone always loves, is dunking on Lil Mosey. That transition from Mosey to Meg is so embarrassing. Lil Mosey ruined his career as soon as he tried to rhyme man with man. Stop with all the hate comments about Lil Mosey. I can't like them all. The only thing Lil Mosey killed was the polar bear. Was the polar bear for his jacket? He really trying to steal Kodak's line. This is a lame ass beat. Like, sit down, Mosey. Lil Mosey is back there looking like somebody's lost child. I wonder if Lil Mosey still feels like the man after all these comments.
I'm that man. I can't trip because it's way off brand.
Let's all thank God Jack Harlow is always that man and didn't just wake up like the man.
Rest in power. It's all about power.
Things that are better than Mosey. Uzi ad-libs, 21 cross on his forehead, Kodak grills, Denzel's chain, Yachty's glasses, the DJ's look when Uzi didn't shout him out. Who came here after Mosey tried to pull a Kodak?
Yeah, been baller, no Johnny Dane. Yeah.
X's beat is better than Mosey's whole career. Context, X didn't use a beat.
I be riding around town in the coupe, got the drop top hanging like I'm Snoop. Hey.
Designer having a seizure in the back to Anderson .Paak's freestyle is better than Lil Mosey. I don't think this relationship that we all have with Mosey is going away anytime soon. I don't think it'll matter if he falls off. I don't think it'll even matter if we find a new #1 worst cypher. There is a legacy here that will never be etched away. And I think that's why I love these cyphers so much. They're the showcase for the great up-and-coming talent that's gonna grace the world stage next. But at the exact same time, it is watching the world crash and burn for so many terrible, terrible artists. Lil Mosey is the embodiment of that crash and burn. It's something truly beautiful for the entire XXL audience. It's something that I don't think I'll ever get tired of. And it's something that's worthy of being called the worst XXL cypher in history. And that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching it all the way to the end. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Yo, bars! If you want to drop some of your personal favorite cyphers and least favorite cyphers down in the comments below, feel free to do so. I know that I definitely missed some, but I also definitely know that I'm not the most esteemed scholar when it comes to all these artists. If you want to watch me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, or join the Discord server so you never miss a stream or upload, check the links in the description below. That's all I got for now, so until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.